Hi, everyone.
Hey,
I'm Alicia,
and I'm Meredith.
and this is Summer is Fun, a Summer House podcast, season 6, episode 2. Amazing. There's like no bad episodes.
I I'm very nervous because I don't understand how we get from here to wedding. That I'm
Oh, I'm
nervous.
stressed as can be. I know how it ends, and I'm questioning if it should end that way, which
Yeah, I
stresses
know.
me
I'm
out.
like, Amanda, do you need
I'm
to put a
stressed.
help sign in your window? Like, we will come save you, sweet baby.
I know, girl. I'll come. I'll come for you. But before we get too into it, check out the A&M Podcast Network. We have this podcast. We have It's About the Pasta, our Vanderpump Rules podcast, which this is the last week of the live show.
Yep.
We got 2 reunions, be ready from, and we have 1 season wonders. Please be sure to rate, review, subscribe any of our podcasts. We have no new reviews, but someone did rate us, and I think it was bad because it looks like our stars went down. So
Never
whoever you
mind.
are, get off our podcast, go somewhere else. And if you're listening,
Positive vibes
please
only.
rate us. Please rate us. What else? What else? Oh, follow us on Instagram at Vanderpasta. I'm tweeting. I'm asking questions. I got opinions. Tis fun.
It's a happening because we are in full live season
I know.
mode.
That's the best part. And then join our Patreon, patreon.com/Vanderpasta. Let me tell you what you can get. For $1 a month, you get access to all of our pre-shows where Meredith and I catch up about whatever the fuck we want. And also you get any episodes that we record early. You know the drill. So then for $2 a month, you get access to everything I just mentioned. Plus you get access to any after shows that we record, which mainly pertains to when we go back and watch old seasons. Also, we will say your name on the podcast. So thank you to Chris, Dustin, Jackie, Kristen, Tiffany, Tracy, Danae, Gina, Kelsey, Mariah, Zoe, and our new patron that joined maybe 2 minutes before I logged on with Meredith, Sarah.
Oh my gosh.
I know. I got the
Wow.
notification while I was making my smoothie.
It just brings me so much happiness and joy, and I want everyone to know that. Come bring me more joy, please.
Thank you so much. And then for $5 a month, you get access to everything I just mentioned. Plus, for live shows, you get to give us your thoughts and opinions. And we got tons to start the show off with, pertaining probably to last week. But like,
okay.
You know, we got tons of shit. We'll still read it and we'll still talk about it. And you know what? It'll be a good reminder of what happened.
I was about to say, it's a great recap if you comment on the previous weeks. We will take comments at any time. At any time.
Exactly.
Wow.
And then also we will pick a patron of the episode. So this patron of the episode gave us tons of thoughts and I missed them. It's Dustin.
Yay! This is Dustin's jam. Summer House is full steam ahead.
Summer House.
Vanderpump, he's just along for the ride. Dustin's leading the charge for Summer House, and we're dragging him for
Summer House. He is Mr. Summer House. You think Kyle's number 1 guy in the group? It's Dustin.
Dustin is fun. Kyle, not fun. Dustin, fun.
Literally. Okay, so let's get into Dustin's thoughts. So he said, fuck Kyle. Last episode was not his best. Also, this new buff guy looks like a total dweeb. And where's Luke? It's been two nights and no one's had a fire yet. Is it even Summer House if Luke ain't there starting fires when the house is imploding on itself? I agree.
We really could have used Amanda really could have used a fire.
A fire, just to escape to a fire.
To sit and talk around it, and so then Kyle could go to an empty bed.
Also, I know I haven't previously said this. I've actually denied it, but Luke was looking real good on Watch What Happens Live last night. He was in the audience. I think I have a crush. Anyway, Dustin also said, not looking forward to the Southern Charm boy showing up. I'd be okay never seeing Austin ever. Ever.
I want Craig.
Happy for Paige and the other guy, Craig, but I'm not interested in seeing their drama play out, especially since I know how it ends. Yeah. I just don't want to see Andrea heartbroken. I know that sounds bad, but he's like won me over.
I know. So like, to be honest, selfishly, because I want Andrea and Paige for like a little bit, I don't want them to come next episode. I want them to come like
Yeah.
towards the end of the summer.
Yes. I want Andrea and Paige to hook
Just
up.
a little bit.
So then,
even just
so
some
then
like
she's
kissing,
more
you know,
confused.
like, yes.
Yeah. Yes. But he said, looking forward to the season though. They seem to pack them in that house like sardines. Can't wait till it's full of fight, or till it's full and the fights start. So then he went on, don't worry, there's more thoughts. Because then today he listened to our episode and gave thoughts about what we said, which we love. Come forward, Dustin, let's do it. No, he doesn't. But he says, poor Lindsay. She's a fucking strong ass woman and she deserves way better than these fuck boys that she always ends up with. Can't wait to watch this new episode. And I was like, we stan Lindsay. Then says he hopes Lindsay fucking rages this summer because she's earned it. Also, agree Kyle's a fuck. He should have answered the phone, especially when he came home and said something about getting them all. That just means he was ignoring them all night.
Yes.
It'd be one thing if he didn't have his phone and then Amanda called 25 times and then Kyle called once he had it. But he pretty much admitted to ignoring it all night. Way not cool. He could have been fucking dead. Wow, that's true. We were just thinking he was cheating, but Amanda could have been thinking like,
that's the thing is, okay? I think once you get to like 20 plus, you're like, what is going on? Because back in the day, she used to call like 3 to 5 times, you know, like not that is still a lot, but that's still in like you're ignoring me territory. Once it gets to like 20.
Once you got that ring, you can call as many times as you want and you don't look crazy somehow.
Yes. I had a friend who literally fell off the face of the earth for a 24-hour period. And I was the one who notified all of our friends that like we couldn't find him and he was not responding to anything. And like people were freaked out.
Yeah, you worry us. So Dustin says he used to drink to escape work. Now it feels like he's drinking to escape Amanda. Not good. Kyle equals not fun. And you know what, Dustin, he's married. He knows this is not a good look for a married couple.
Yep. And like you're alone at the bar. Yeah, you're with like other people you met that night, but the whole premise is you're supposed to be spending time with your significant other and your friends. And so when everybody else leaves, you should be heading out too.
Yeah, or answer your phone. But then ending comments, Dustin says, Carl is really glowing, good for him. And Andrea is way hotter than Craig, no competition. True. Look at that. I agree. And then Tiffany commented before the episode and said, I'm so ready for tonight. I want to know who is $4 million in debt. If it's Kyle, that may be why he's stressed and he parties. He's running away from his problems.
He's running away from a lot of problems, whether it's $4 million or not.
I forget that these people like could be broke. I'm like, they have a reality show. They got tons of money. And
my dad reminds me all the time of how many people like our age and like kind of in their 20s and early 30s are in so much credit card debt.
That scares me.
I know.
Because we're just so together.
Kyle is living off of like a loan probably to start up Loverboy, which is good debt, but like still that doesn't mean
it's still debt.
Yeah, like that's especially $4 million.
Yeah, that's crazy. I can't wait to find out more on that. But let's get into this season. Or this episode. So previously on Summer House, we're back. Maya and Alex have joined the house. Carl is single and sober and hot. Paige and Sierra also single and hot, but they're crushing on the hot boys. Andrea's trying to get Paige back. Paige is hooking up with Craig, but also she's kind of into Andrea. Lindsay kind of lost it at dinner when she was asked about Jason, but then we found out she had a miscarriage. Maya came out of a 5-year engagement, which makes Amanda really nervous because now she's only been engaged 3 years.
Amanda's like, there's a way to get out of this. 5 years isn't long, or like isn't too long to call off an engagement.
Kyle went out and went missing, didn't answer his phone, and Amanda got triggered and broke all of Kyle's shit. And Kyle didn't take any responsibility. And we found out about the infamous contract, which is just some drama. So we wake up. It's Saturday. I'm pretty sure July 3rd, 10:46 a.m. Kyle Kyle's yelling at Amanda for breaking his shit, and Amanda's yelling is just so fucking over it. Meanwhile, in the kitchen, because everyone can hear, we can talk about literally anything else. Andrea and Sierra are talking about cooking and like eggs, and then Amanda comes into the kitchen. And
it's like if your parents were fighting at home and you had a friend over and you're like, we're just gonna pretend like we don't hear that.
And then Amanda comes in, she's like, I need coffee. They're like, great.
Is that all you're gonna say?
It.
Yeah.
We're not gonna talk about it. But Amanda's on the verge of crying. So we're just gonna keep talking to Andrea.
Yeah, she's like, I don't want to pretend like this isn't happening. I know it's happening. I can't do it without crying. So like, not now.
Fair. Kyle decides to go for a run because he's over arguing about the same thing. And he thinks he always looks like the bad guy because he's the one who cheated, which is like true. If you showed a certain type of behavior and you cheated doing that behavior, stop doing that behavior. If you don't also, look like a cheater.
In a way, I think like, and I think this can happen a lot in other relationships too, even if it didn't get to this level, but like one party is going to have like the worst thing they did. So like anytime Amanda's mad, she can always say, well, you cheated on me.
Yeah.
So no matter what he's doing, honestly, like I feel like he thinks this is always going to be held against him, which that sucks, but he also fucked up in this situation.
Multiple times. He cheated on her multiple times. But so he goes for a run in the rain, and then it's 11:22, which is like half an hour later, and people are like, wait, where the fuck's Kyle? And they're like, he went for a run in the rain.
He's running away from his problems in more than one way.
So then Carl is like, on the plus side, let's get people to go to a brewery. And Alex is like, I can't go because I need to get myself food.
Look at my long grocery list.
To serve an army, basically, because he's tired of just eating 2 pounds of turkey. Because apparently that wasn't bought by him. Who bought that much turkey?
Well, remember, Maya is the one who went grocery shopping, and she has bought a million groceries they unpacked yesterday. So
she bought turkey for everyone, and Alex.
Yes. And Alex is like, this isn't enough. This isn't what I like. So let's go get it.
Yeah, so Sierra's like, I'll go to the store with you. Because remember, she kind of thinks Alex is cute. She's going to suss it out a little bit.
As long as he stops wearing his cutoff shirts, we're good.
Which he doesn't.
No.
So spoiler. So then it's 12:02. Kyle is soaked. He comes back and they're like, do you want to go to a brewery? And he's like, yeah, I'll go to a brewery. But then it's super awkward because like Amanda's there.
She's like, what the fuck? The whole point. I'm mad at you because you got hammered last night. What the fuck?
Also, how come you have not like come to comfort me? You got all your anger out.
Look at me.
Coming to me.
Yeah.
So Amanda gets back in a bed. So then Paige and Sierra go back to their bed. And they're like, isn't it fun always being together? And then laying there, Paige goes, we're literally the grandparents from Willy Wonka.
I love it.
I'm choked.
I love it.
I was like, fuck, I wish I wasn't watching it live because I need a minute. Because then I got frazzled because it was
then there was that tweet that you posted too, that it was like, I love Paige so much because she's a wonderful reality star that can spend 90% of her time in bed, and I still love her.
Yeah, she figured it out.
She's a girl after my own heart. I truly enjoy laying in my bed all the time.
Oh my God, it's just, the way they said it too, they're both like completely covered.
The blanket is up to their chin.
And Paige says it like, she's like, we're literally the grandparents from Willy Wonka. And Sierra's like, yeah. Like they didn't even fucking laugh about it. It was so funny. So then Kyle climbs into bed with Amanda. And he's like, hey, Amanda, I fucked up because I didn't see my phone, which we found out on Watch What Happens Live is a lie. He goes, but nothing happened. And you're making this into a thing. So Amanda's like, I'm actually not making it into a thing. You were really good. And then you fucked it up at the end there. So,
but like, I'm not going to spend this weekend fighting with you because I'm not going to ruin it for our housemates, which I'm like, thank you.
So then, also, I just want to quick point out, because this is going to happen. You know how in Winter House, anytime Paige and Craig were within 3 feet of each other, we got a shot of it. They're doing that with Carl and Lindsay, because Lindsay's just like, I'm going to empty the dishwasher. And Carl's like, oh, that's fun. Or he goes, what'd you say? And she goes, nothing. And then that was the scene. And I was like, they're really trying. I love it.
Oh my God.
So it's 12:57. We're going to the brewery in the rain. My girl Danielle can't get her hair wet, so she grabs the whole fucking rug and brings it to the car to cover her hair.
I'm excited about this group. If Kyle hadn't fucked up, I would have loved this even more. But I'm really enjoying this group because this is a fun group.
This is fun. It's Carl, Kyle, Lindsay, Danielle, and Maya. And if I, for some reason, got to join Summer House. This is the crew I want. This
Same.
is it.
But
Take
I've learned
Arby,
like
take Maya.
production wise, you always have to have somebody with somebody else. So like somebody had to go with Alex.
Yeah. And that just, but it's, well, I don't think Sierra minded too much because her two best friends weren't going to the brewery. But I think Maya, she's kind of fun. She's this new girl and she's like, I'll do whatever. She already rode up with,
she already knows Paige. She
and
rode
Sierra.
up with Sierra. So like, I'm going to go meet and get to know this group a little bit better.
Yeah. So they are on their way to the brewery. In the car, Lindsay's talking about how she's gonna have a hot open mouth summer. In her interview, she does say she doesn't know how the miscarriage is gonna affect her in the long run, but she just wants to have a hot hub summer and do weird shit. And then she starts talking about munching boxes, which was my favorite. She's had female moments. No one else has had female moments.
No.
And this is the moment Carl fell in love because he was
probably. This is what I love about Lindsay. She's all in on any conversation she's talking about. She doesn't get embarrassed easily. Like, she's like, of course I have. And the guys are like, being typical guys, what? Oh my God.
They're like, so you've gotten your box munched. Have you munched a box? And she goes, yes.
Yeah, of course.
I have to return the favor.
Oh my God.
We're back at the house. Andrea is super pissed about the pasta sauce that has been bought because it says Italian, but it's obviously not Italian because us Americans ruin everything. So
yes.
It's not
so
Italian.
He's like, no, we're not eating this crap. I'm gonna make you homemade pasta.
Yeah. He's gonna make homemade pasta and sauce. And Amanda and Paige are like down. So Paige is like, we're gonna go sit on the couch over here.
Who would ever turn that down? We'll be right over here. We'll watch you, but we're gonna have our girl chat.
Paige is a quick, like, sorry, your love life's a mess, Amanda, but I'm falling in love.
But like, look at, we're getting pasta. At least you get pasta too.
I'm in love. So Alex and Sierra are going to the store. Alex is not wearing sleeves. He gets the door for her and holds her umbrella and everything, which is like really nice.
He seems nice, but like, I'm not in on any of this.
I'm not either. So they started talking about how they're both competitive in ping pong, and I was like, oh, they're gonna be beer pong.
Yeah.
I'm like, they're gonna be beer pong partners. Actually, I have no idea.
I'm in for somebody competitive. Like, I think this could bring something to the house.
So we find out Alex used to do all kinds of crazy activities, violin. He said other shit like golf, tennis, like literally.
I think like Chinese cursive or something.
Checkers. Checkers, that's different. Yes, Chinese cursive.
Yeah, like it seems like he's from, which I mean, I don't know,
like an Asian
families, but like there's always that like tiger mom type. So it seems like he was definitely required to have a lot of activities and to do them well.
Yeah, 100%. So then we find out Sierra, she just turned 25. She's questioning all her paths. She doesn't know if she wants to stay in nursing. She doesn't know if she wants to move back to Atlanta. She's kind of having a quarter life crisis, which Sierra's young. I thought she was like Paige's age, like 29.
Yeah, I always forget how old everyone is, except for Kyle, just because he's the bookend of the group. But this is interesting. I'm shocked to hear how much she is questioning it, because the last we've seen of her is Winter House, which was February of 2021. And she didn't seem like this was a conversation piece then. So I am honestly curious personally if she feels like she wants to be in New York because of this show and her whole life there. But I wonder if Austin being in South Carolina wants her to pulls her to Atlanta, because that's very close.
God, I hope not. Stay in New York, my girl. Stay in New freaking York. Oh,
but also the nurse thing, come on, you just became a reality star. Of course you were going to move on. You're going to
become an influencer.
Yeah.
We know what's happening. That didn't surprise me at all. No. I was like,
especially after the pandemic, where so many nurses are already leaving the field. If you became a reality star and had this exit door wide open for you, I'd take it.
So then we go to the brewery. Carl gets a cute little sparkling water with lemon.
I love how he's like, do you got that non-alc? And I'm like, you and your cute little lingo.
But the great squad. We talked to Maya about her broken engagement. Kyle's very interested. Kyle's the one doing all the questions.
Yep.
So she just said there's no denying that they weren't in a good face. Like not one person broke it off with the other. It was kind of like a mutual thing. And they kept having the same fights. And Kyle's face is like, yes.
Ding, ding, ding. He just said that at the start of the episode. Like production obviously pulled the right quote of Kyle saying they've had the same fights for the last 2 years.
So she met her ex right before she was 23. So that would make her about 28, I think. Right?
I would say probably 29 by now because she called her engagement off 6 months ago. 5-year engagement.
28. Between 27 and 29. Yeah.
Yeah, she's definitely right at like Paige's age.
But fun fact, her ex is actually on Top Chef. I don't watch Top Chef, but immediately I was like, holy shit,
I was like,
Bravo crossover.
We are getting all the dirt. You and I love flashbacks, and we love flashbacks in Winter House from both Summer House and Southern Charm. So to get a new one roped in here, I was like, this is awesome, and this guy hates this.
Do you watch Top Chef?
I had back in the day.
I wonder if she was on Top Chef and she was so good that when they broke up, like her and Paige, I think are friends through probably the Bravo universe now. And I wonder if Summer House was like, you know what, you'd be really great. And she was like, yeah, because I'm awesome.
I don't know. It doesn't seem like she was on it.
I have no idea. I've never watched Top Chef, so I have no idea. But she worked with her ex, which was another thing for Kyle. So I don't know if she was actually featured or if like maybe Bravo production just like really liked her when they were working with the fiance. I have no idea. But that's
even just knowing people in production can like get you ahead. But very interesting. I love that little tidbit that he was on Top Chef.
She said that she always felt like she was in his shadow and she wanted to do her own thing, but she did backslide a few times, maybe about like a month ago. But
I love her honesty. Listen, I get it. Because it seems like it's not like because she didn't love him, it just like it wasn't right anymore. And I think a lot of people kind of struggle with that. So it's hard not to go back because you remember the good times when you've left something, not the bad times.
Yeah, exactly. And this is the perfect group to talk about moving on. They're not going to judge you for doing anything.
This whole group is a massive backslide at all times.
Lindsay's like, me and Stravy, 10 out of 10.
I mean, she did basically go back to him at the end of last season.
Well, you're right. Okay, we saw the backslide. So back at the house, Andrea is still making some pasta. So Paige and Amanda are enjoying their time on the side, and in pure Paige fashion, she doesn't want to just ask Amanda how she's doing. She says, you're very like, you look great. You don't even have puffy eyes from all your crying. And Amanda's like, thank you. I've been crying for the past 12 hours. So Amanda talks about how Kyle's drinking has been an issue since he cheated. And it's been 4 years of this shit. And she wants to save the relationship, but she's over the behavior that comes with his drinking. And Paige is like, yeah, but we've like been in the same spot before. And this is where Amanda really starts to tear up because she doesn't understand why Kyle won't change for her. And I think this is what every girl always wants. She wants the bad boy to change because his love for her is too strong. You can't change people.
And I would say like somebody could change because they do love you, but you can't hold out for that. Like you can't think that you're going to be the one because the chances of that happening are so slim. And I would say Kyle has changed a lot since season 1.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean every part of him is going to change. You have to know that whenever you enter a relationship with someone, everything you dislike about them, honestly, will probably eat at you more because of the compounding time you've spent being pissed off about those situations.
Yeah. So yeah, Paige is more like, so like, is Kyle aware that like you are on the edge? And she says Kyle probably doesn't believe that Amanda will leave. There's a part of Amanda that thinks, what if she can't do it? And she starts crying. And Paige is like, listen, calling off a wedding is way less scary than looking back at like 15 years of a bad, horrible marriage. Like you can't.
Better to call off a wedding now than to devote your life to someone and get divorced later and have your like whole life wasted.
Yeah. And basically Paige is like, do you think you want to end it? Is there a part of you that's like, this isn't it? And Amanda says no, she just like doesn't know if like it's right. And I'm like, girl, if you're questioning it,
I feel like she's questioning getting married in 2 months but not getting married to Kyle. Like it's the 2 months is like what's stressing her out.
Oh, like it's
which is ridiculous because like they fucking planned this wedding 3 different times. Like you'd think
know.
by the final time you'd both be like, yes, we can't wait. We're so in love. Let's get this over with.
It doesn't look great. And I know there's probably
I still don't understand how we actually get down the aisle.
I'm so scared for both
and
of them.
I wholeheartedly believe Amanda when she says like Kyle can't see how much she's struggling. Look at this morning. He was like, hey, sorry I didn't answer those messages. Like, we good? And Amanda's like, no.
You're making it a thing when it's not. And she's like, it's a thing to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Kyle's very logical in the sense that he's not emotional.
Yeah.
You know, most of the time. And
he
really
can't empathize with how she feels because he would never feel that way.
Yes, that's where it's.
Which, like, to be honest, even without the cheating, if I was dating someone and they pulled this shit and I called them 26 times and they did not answer once, cheating or no cheating, I'd be livid.
We got issues. But Andrea makes it better because we got pasta.
Yes, everybody likes to eat their feelings.
And so Andrea basically serves Amanda and Paige pasta, and Paige is like, this is like some weird porn that we're in. Like, this is, and I was like, kind of though, this is like dream porn. You just get pasta with
That's
from a hot dude.
There's a hot dude making pasta in your kitchen, and you get to like kind of gossip with your friends. This isn't fun gossip because it's not a good topic.
Porn. This is it.
This is my dream.
So Sierra and Alex come home with the food, and you know, we got tons of food. So everyone's like, what are we having for dinner? And Sierra tries Andrea's pasta and she goes, well, you boys should cook burgers. And if it's as good as your pasta, then I'm going to be happy. And Andrea's like, oh my God.
He's like, talk dirty to me.
Andrea's so fun to flirt with.
I love, he is good friend flirting. Yeah.
Yes. But even if like your real flirting friend, like everyone, Paige has fun. Amanda flirts with him, but it's fun. Yes. Sierra flirts with him, and it's fun.
Because you can tell he's not being like super serious. So even if you were his girlfriend, like I would never be upset like with how he's talking to Sierra right now. Yeah. Like it's about food.
That's why Paige can like take it a step for. Well, even Amanda could have said like, "This is a fun porn we're in." Like anyone could have said that, and it would have been just hilarious. Yeah. I like Andrea. So Alex then kind of shades the girls for having bacon.
He's like, wait, are you guys eating breakfast right now? And they're like, yeah, we didn't wake up at 6 a.m. like you. Yeah. Like we just started our day.
But he's like, what was that you had earlier? And they're like, bacon. We always have bacon. I'm like, that's normal. And then Alex starts listing all of the foods that he has eaten.
For just breakfast.
And Paige's face is literally like, that amount of food weighs the same as me. Like
I eat a lot of food. Face. I eat a lot, and I could not even eat that much in a whole day.
No, that sounds.
He listed like 7 things.
Also, like I get it. He's a health nut, obviously, but he was like, I had whole wheat toast with unsalted butter, and I had a pound of turkey, and I had 3 eggs, no cheese, no salt, and I was like, fuck this dude.
I'm like, okay, listen, if somebody asked you what you had for breakfast, just list off a few things like, oh, I had some eggs and toast and bacon. Like you don't need to list out every single thing, what ingredient you use. Nobody cares that much. No one cares unless you're going to describe some amazing food porn that we're all like, oh, a burger with like this stuff on top. Unless you're adding things, we don't want to know what you like took away from yourself.
Or unless you're talking to your girlfriends and going, I just had 3 pounds of pasta, and everyone cheers you on because that's what you should do. My God. So the crew comes home from the brewery. The rest of the house is making burgers. Amanda and Kyle do not interrupt. Oh, there was nothing.
This is so awkward. I would hate to be their roommate.
Yeah, and so to break up the conversation, they go, do you like crunchy asparagus or soft asparagus? Thanks, Maya. Thank you so much. That actually made me laugh.
They're like, let's bond. Let's all talk about what type of asparagus we like the most.
Yeah, the silence is real. So Paige is in her room and she gets a call from Craig.
Oh my God, I was dying.
Oh my God. He misses her. She asked if he laughed last night.
Yeah, she was like, oh, when you went out? And he's like, yeah. And she's like, did you laugh? Because laughing is all that matters. And I'm like, okay, you guys are in the cutest stage.
Joke. It's such an inside joke.
I wish we had a little bit of in between besides just the talking when we got to the house last week.
Yeah.
Because like I need more of like what happened this past spring.
She's obviously smitten with Craig. Like
absolutely.
But she, you know what? She is the happiest girl in America. She is juggling 2 men who are obsessed with her. So this is a
insane.
Dream. This is another girl's dream.
Amanda can't even get one answer from her fiance, and Craig is calling Paige, and she got pasta today from Andrea. Like,
this is perfect.
Wow, what a world.
This was the best. But the Bravo editor, shady as ever, because Paige was like, I'm the happiest girl in the world. And it cut straight to a scene of Amanda. And I was like, oh. Sad but real. So now it's 8:02 p.m. The day just flew by. We got burgers, we got salmon, we got salad, we got crunchy or soft asparagus. No one gave us an answer. So our 4th of July celebration is tomorrow. It's Kyle's favorite holiday. He even starts tearing up as he talks about it a little
this
bit.
Actually makes me sad. I know he did this to himself, but like this is his favorite holiday. Like I get so excited and I'm like, I don't even want to deal with tomorrow because Kyle sucks.
I know. But they're going to do a seafood boil. And as we're talking about this, Carl breaks the chair.
Oh my God. I didn't even like understand how it happened. You just see Carl on the ground and I didn't see any chair around him.
I didn't either. It was just, did he miss the chair? I just started laughing.
I don't know.
Hysterically. It was the funniest thing. So it's 9:24 and in pure summer house fashion, if we're not going out, we're having a dance party and we're getting drunk. And this is where I'm always like, if I was Carl and sober, I'd be like, no, this is fun, but also like my bed's right here. Like if we're out, I'm forced to have fun. If we're in, I'm gonna be like, my bed's
and at least you're meeting new people. But, you're right. That
I'll give it to Carl. He's
even
great.
The drinking, I'm like, I can just, why don't we all like 3 girls sit in my bed and drink?
So Sierra's on the table dancing. Carl is smitten. Then Lindsay gets up there, but Carl's still smitten on Sierra.
This is interesting to watch this little storyline.
I know Andrea's flirting with Paige. Carl tells Sierra that he loved her dancing, and she's like, fuck yeah,
sober
great.
Carl is very forward.
Yeah, he's like, she won't remember.
He's probably like, I can't get that liquid courage, so I just got to have it on my own.
I just got to do it.
Yeah.
Amanda kisses Paige, or no, Amanda makes Paige kiss Andrea. Sorry.
Yeah, they did that like shot together, and then she like forces their heads together,
which is very cute. And then Andrea gives Paige a lap dance, which was super cute and flirty. And then he kisses her on the forehead, which was so cute.
Oh my!
And then basically Craig better step up his game because shirtless Andrea is
and proximity helps, Andrea is just right down the hall. Craig
Andrea's
is a whole plane right away. Yeah.
He's here, he's shirtless, and he's making pasta and coffee for the girls. Craig, what the fuck are you doing?
What are you doing besides laughing at a bar? What are you doing?
And telling Paige you laugh.
Yeah, like congrats on the laughter.
That's great.
Point for Andrea.
Yeah. So it's 10:57. Kyle kicks a chair.
He scoots back in it.
Yeah, he scoots back and it hits Amanda's foot. And
totally accidental. I have to say.
I think he was trying to scoot back to Amanda and be like, hey, but because they're drunk, so he's probably happy. He's like, I'll break the ice now. But instead he hits her with the chair. Oof. And she punches his ass.
She's like, I'm already pissed at you and you just hurt me.
Yeah, she's pissed. So Kyle calls her not fun. And so Amanda storms off.
If you wanted to make things worse, if you wanted to call off your wedding, here are the steps on how to do it, Kyle. You're just following them perfectly.
This is also when you're just pissed at someone and so you're avoiding them, but then they do something. They don't just annoy you. They fully harm you and you're just like, fuck
now
you.
I'm really done. Yeah.
I'm pissed. So Amanda leaves. And so everyone's kind of like, well, this is a buzzkill. You have to go talk to her now, please. So Kyle gets up and goes to see Amanda. And Amanda's just like, my foot really hurts, but we all know it's not about the fucking foot.
No.
We all know. And Amanda says that Kyle has a problem. She doesn't want to talk about it, but they're not fine. So Kyle goes, fine, then call off the wedding, which is don't tempt her.
You were just gassing her up to just be more and more pissed.
So then Amanda responds basically with, then don't drink. Both of them are at odds with each other. So Kyle's like, fuck you, I'm done. And he starts walking out. He's storming out of the house, like the full house. He's going in the front. And Danielle, because she's nosy and our favorite, she's listening the whole time. So she knows when Kyle's leaving and she knows it's bad. So she goes after Kyle because she's like, I'm a good friend. I'm not going to let you leave, Kyle.
Yeah, we're not ending it like this. I think the way you support Amanda is by trying to fix it with Kyle to like give Amanda what she wants from Kyle.
I think get him to understand, like,
yes,
your feelings are valid, Kyle, but also her feelings are valid too, and you're not acknowledging.
You're not even looking at them at all. Yeah.
Yeah. So Kyle's in the car, I think.
I think they're behind the car because you can't.
Okay.
There's no camera crew out there. It just looks like it's the camera that sees them when they come home from the bars.
Yeah.
But they have that arrow, so I think they're right behind it.
They're either in or behind the car. Mm-hmm. But Kyle says Amanda's not happy and he can't make her happy, so that makes him not happy. And he's like very upset. Amanda goes upstairs to talk to the girls. She's basically like, yeah, my foot kind of hurts, but I'm still pissed at Kyle.
She's like carrying this torch of my foot hurts, and I appreciate it.
She's so pissed now. I think she's done crying. She's just pissed.
Full of anger, not of sadness. Full of anger.
She's just angry right now. So Kyle then outside actually is crying because I think he's over his anger and now he's fully let his sadness come
This
through.
Makes me sad. I feel like we're really getting a peek behind the curtain of like what it's been like in their relationship. Because working together, living together, working together on Loverboy, being on 2 TV shows this year, living together, the stress of a pandemic, planning a wedding 70,000 times. I can't imagine that they would come out of this that happy, but I'm shocked rough. To hear this level.
It's rougher than I think we would have ever thought. So Kyle says everything's put on him. He says he gets nothing in return. He takes it all on, and says Amanda doesn't want to work with him in Loverboy or in their marriage. So he's miserable and he's sick of it. I know.
Because listen, in every like moment, it's her side, his side, and then the truth. And so it's like, there's gonna be some truth in both of these stories. So if like he feels kind of abandoned in both their relationship, working and like physical, this like breaks my heart because as a man, I feel like, do you bring up like, I need more from you. Like I need more affection and then as like her boss kind of technically, but also trying to balance the romantic relationship. Like you can't really come down at her at work without like suffering in your personal life.
Because especially if we're working from home, right?
Yes. I don't envy them.
The boundaries are blurred. So it's hard. So finally it's 11:56. Amanda's in bed. Kyle gets into bed. They're both kind of pissed still, but this is a situation where
they're sleeping in the same bed.
It's better to go to bed angry.
100% at that, but I'm happy they're sleeping in the same bed. I feel like we're like, that is always little steps forward is helpful. Yeah. So maybe by 4th of July, we'll just be a little happier.
We'll high five, or we can look at each other without being.
Yeah, we can look each other in the eyes. That's the next step.
So it's Sunday morning. I didn't get the time, but it's got to be super fucking early because the only people up are Carl and Alex. Mm-hmm. So I'm assuming it's before.
I bet it's like 7 a.m. Yeah.
So Carl's up and out the door. Alex is in the kitchen because all this person does is eat so far. So Amanda and Kyle are up and they talk a little bit. And Amanda basically says she doesn't want to have this conversation in this house to be respectful because everyone else is already aware of their issues and they've been listening. And Amanda doesn't like that. From years
I think if this was Kyle's a Sunday,
the one to air it out.
They would do it. But like, this is so early in the weekend and it's a holiday weekend. It's the first weekend. Like we can't fuck this up.
And Amanda's always very like, I don't want everyone in the house having to suffer because of our issues, even though they do anyway.
Yes.
Kyle's usually the one that kind of airs out.
Loves to let
it all out there.
Doesn't matter who it is.
Yeah. So we find out Robert's coming to the house.
I remember when I was watching this live asking you in the previous episode we recorded if Robert was going to come, and we were both like, probably not. And I was like, here we go.
So Andrea makes the girls coffee, and then like in it, Paige is like, this is so great. And they somehow start talking about how they should just move to Italy together.
I'm like, I'm kind of in on this. Like,
I kind of want it.
I need an early summer romance of these two.
I kind of want it. Okay, so it is Sunday, July 4th, 10:11. we're waiting for the food for the seafood boil, or broil, I guess it is.
Boil, yeah. No, boil.
Okay, whatever. They have 100 people coming to the house,
Holy
which
shit.
I was like, man, they're gonna get fucking roasted because of COVID.
I was thinking the same thing because last year we had no parties at the house. We barely left the house. So like, I was curious just from the background side of things of like, what is the COVID protocol on this show? Because other shows are very tight locked.
I think because it's outside, and I think everyone's coming at their own risk at this point.
But I'm like, oh my God, if this whole cast got COVID at this party,
like,
could you imagine?
I know. Carl, he's the hardest working man in the house. He's grabbing the lover boys that have been delivered. He's taking them in the back, putting them in the.
There's nothing I love more than seeing a guy ice up a cooler.
Oh, I know, it's hot. It's like a weird Midwest. But this is
well, you're just like, this is gonna be a good party. Like, this is the start. Like, yes, do it.
The girls want breakfast because they haven't eaten yet, and Alex cannot believe people just don't wake up and eat immediately.
Well, I hate this man. I hate him so much because they're like drinking mimosas, having breakfast, and he's just like, it's 10 a.m. Why would you eat breakfast now? And it's like, dude, people have different schedules. Nobody would have shamed you for your breakfast if you hadn't shamed us first.
Also, sir, look at these girls. You think they're waking up and eating pounds of protein?
No. Plus, like, we find out later, like, it doesn't seem like he drinks that much, which is not a bad thing, but like, these girls go ham. So like, they're waking up at 8 a.m. and laying in bed for 2 more hours.
Their bodies are hot, but their bodies are not temples. Okay, sir? We eat what we want to eat.
Yeah.
So Andrea's excited for his first 4th of July. You know, because usually 4th of July in America then marks the summer holidays in Europe. But he's not in Europe. He's very sad about not going to Italy. He's a mama's boy. I love a strong man who's a mama's boy.
Me too.
There's something. Okay, so Maya spots this tattooed, long-haired man outside. And she's like, hey, Danielle, I think Robert's here. And Danielle's like, really? And someone goes, does he have long hair and tattoos? And Maya goes, he has long hair, but I just assumed he's the only person coming. So like, thanks.
I didn't see tattoos, but that doesn't mean he doesn't have them. I think it's him though.
Maya's like, I guess.
If not, a random stranger's coming.
Robert walks in the house and Danielle's so happy. We're so excited. Everyone's excited though, because we're famished.
We're going to eat good food. I love that is everybody's reaction. They're like, thank God you're here. We're going to eat, right?
I think Paige literally goes, we're so happy you're here. We're famished. Yeah. And he was like, and she's like, no, what? Andrea has
Paige, you just had Andrea's pasta. Yeah, like you're fine.
So, Danielle tells us that he's opening a new restaurant in the city, which congrats to Robert. But now Danielle never gets to see him, and she's like so in love with him that she just wants to hang out with him all the time. And then she said that even though he's a chef, right, she's going to date a chef, and she's like, cool, I'm going to eat so good.
Yes, I would think that.
He's always gone, so she orders takeout all the time.
He's cooking for other people all the time, not for me. But I would think like he would bring you like leftovers, or
he probably doesn't get home till like 3. I guess you could like
I know,
keep
but
it
like
in the fridge.
Yeah, you're gonna like bring something that you made for me last night, and I'll just eat it for lunch tomorrow. Is what I
would show up at your place of work for dinner and then leave.
And
not pay my bill.
I want takeout from your restaurant.
I just thought it was funny because it's kind of ever since Danielle was like, I'm dating a chef, I was like, wait, that's the profession I want to date.
Same, but now
I'm like, wait, am I not gonna
I want a retired chef, like somebody who thought about it, maybe did it for a few years, amazing skills, doesn't work in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody who starts like writes cookbooks now.
That's fantastic. Just cook for me.
Yeah.
But they're very cute. They're like flirting in her room, but they're like fun flirting. I don't know. I'm like so obsessed with them.
I was like, she's in a towel and this towel's gonna drop if you tickle her much longer.
I know. I was like, Robert, there's a camera. You're new to this, but there's a camera.
Robert, you can't do that stuff.
So, also there's a crisis in the house that Robert and Danielle are ignoring, and it's that we have no speakers, just so everyone knows. But don't worry, because at 11:36, we're setting everything up. Carl has Sierra on his shoulders setting things up. Meanwhile, Alex, the buff gym guy that could get a lot of shit done, he's trying to do as little as possible for some reason. He's a piece of shit.
He doesn't know. This is his first summer. He doesn't know the protocols.
So then it's questioned, why do we have like Hawaiian decorations? And
because she's
it's
pulling it
4th
out of a box
July.
too. And I was wondering,
Yeah.
maybe they bought a bunch of stuff for like a party next weekend and we're opening this too soon. Cause I don't really think we saw it again later.
Cause someone's like, isn't it 4th of July? And it was Lindsay unboxing and she's like, we're throwing a luau, I guess. But there's tons of Loverboy. This man,
Shocker.
Kyle, for all his flaws, he knows how to advertise.
That's the thing. I would be thrilled if I showed up to a party and this was all there. I mean, free alcohol, I'm in.
So Paige is also kind of a piece of shit, lazy, but it's like funny and endearing. All she has to do is put the big floating ball into the pool, and she does. But
here's the thing: when people ask you what your job is, Paige says it could easily say, "I'm helping with the floats." Like she could tag herself to something. Alex can't.
Exactly. So Amanda, Sierra, and Paige have a little powwow, and Amanda is like, "Hey, does Andrea know about Craig?"
And they're talking in hushed tones because people are walking behind them.
And Paige is like, you know what? It's really not my problem. But like, how could he not know?
I think Paige says like she doesn't think he knows.
Oh yeah. Because then Amanda's like, what if Craig shows up? Like, then what's gonna happen? And this is when Paige is like, you know what? It's like not my problem.
Yeah. Which this kind of stresses me out because like I would just be a little nervous. Like, how do you keep this balance of like having both?
It's people's real feelings, right?
Yes.
Like as badass as Paige is being,
but in my mind, if I were Paige, I'd be like, I want to keep these two guys on the hook. So like, let's keep this on the DL. Like, let's not talk about this.
Craig, do not come to the Hamptons.
Horrible. That is not what you should do for Andrea's feelings. Because it seems like she is more into Craig, but like, that's what I would do if I'm honest.
I agree that if Paige wants to hook up with two men, then
summer romance
with two men, that's fine. Do whatever you want. The only thing is, if Andrea's not totally familiar with the Craig sitch, it's gonna hurt a little. And I know,
but I'm a horrible person, and I would live my life by like, don't ask, don't tell. If you're not asking the questions, I'm not gonna tell the answers.
Fair. Okay, so then we asked did Amanda talk to Kyle, and Amanda's just kind of like, Kyle doesn't realize he has an issue, and Sierra's like, yeah, but how does Kyle not fucking know? Like everyone else knows.
The thing is, after the like 24 hours after it happened, I don't understand how he doesn't know. And Amanda has made it very clear that she's not happy, and we will talk when we get home, sans cameras.
Amanda's just gonna push it under the rug, which stresses me out because we're about to get really drunk.
Well, you know what is good about this in this season is we are having a 100-person party. It is easy to avoid him.
That's true. So now it's 12:32 and we got speakers. So now we got music potentially playing. So we don't even have to listen to Kyle and Amanda. Yeah. It's like a party. I was like, is DJ James Kennedy gonna show up?
This is like every season it gets better and better with like the level of their parties.
So Kyle, he accidentally dropped his towel in front of the camera, which was hilarious. He's like,
died.
Oh.
And the door was open. He literally looks dead in the camera and is like, whoa.
So Alex wants to grill because this man is obsessed with food. And Carl's like, that's really nice, but actually I'm going to grill. And here's how Carl's logic. I get it. He's sober. So a big melting pot of people is going to be the grill.
Yes.
And so that's where he is going to talk to people because people are going to come up and say, hey, Carl, you're grilling.
Yeah, because he can't stand behind the bar. Like that's the other spot people congregate. So it's like, I can't really do that. So give me the grill, dude.
This is how people are going to come check on his meat. Check out his meat. Fuck yeah, I'm in. So Danielle, still giddy that Robert's here and wishes he would come all the time. She's telling Lindsay about how much she loves him. But then she's like, Lindsay, can you come? And Lindsay's like, no, my pheromones. You're going to smell my pheromones.
Oh my God. Single Lindsay is on fire this season.
Yeah. And then it's also Sierra and Maya's first parties in the Hamptons.
Yeah, because Sierra didn't get any last year. Like real parties.
Real parties. And this is Maya's coming out party for her single life.
I love it. This is giving me all the vibes.
So it is now 1:56, and I don't know if the party was at 2 or the party was at 1:30, but the party is beginning now. So Andrea sees Paige's outfit, calls her J-Lo, and Paige is she's like, this man.
Andrea just knows. He's so suave.
Amanda's ready to turn the fuck up. We're gonna do shots.
This concerned me, if I'm being honest.
I know. So now it's 2:25 p.m. We got the Italian stallion on the mic, but Kyle can't understand him. I don't know if it's because Andrea's Italian or because Kyle's drunk.
I think it's
probably a mix.
Well, and like I feel like sometimes if somebody talks too close to a mic, I think it's a mix. I personally think it's a mix of the accent and not talking into a mic correctly.
Sierra's the one at the grill with Carl for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle keeps talking about how he's having a rough day, but they're gonna be fine. It's fine. Kyle is currently that meme of the dog at a computer while the rest of the world's on fire.
But Kyle cannot see the fire at the same time.
Yeah. He has no idea. Danielle, because Danielle's a good friend, and she's like, "Hey, Kyle,
how you doing?
Are you fine?" And he says he's better, but Amanda looks really hot. And we cut to Amanda. And this bitch is not looking at Kyle. She's not talking about Kyle. She cannot see Kyle through her glazed eyes.
She has totally put him in a box and is going to open it when she gets back to the city. But she's like, you called me not fun. I'm going to show you what fun is.
She is so fun. Her ass is out. She is dancing. She's taking shots.
Fire per usual, but honestly, even more because she is like purposely being outgoing, even more so than she is.
She is so hot. I cannot stand it.
It pisses me off if I'm honest.
It pisses Kyle off a lot too. He tells Danielle again, it's been rough working together and living together and all of it. They're on their third wedding and Kyle just has no spark, which I was like, we should go. We should not.
I'm like, dude, remember you're on a show. Like
that one hurt.
If things get better, you were on record saying this and you're gonna have to relive this. Like, let's try and censor ourselves a little bit.
On Watch What Happens Live, actually, he'll have to relive it. But he just wants to feel good and he feels helpless. And then we cut to Amanda who's kissing Paige, so she feels fine. she's fine. So it's 3:04. Carl's still the grill guy. Alex is at the bar with Sierra and Lindsay, and Sierra and Lindsay are just trying to take shots, and Alex is being a big judgmental loser.
Yeah, they're like, let loose, dude. Let's take some shots.
Oh my God, Sierra calls him uptight, and I was just like, you are the worst.
He is the worst one to be friends with at a party. I'm like, get away from me.
You know who's the best one to be friends with though? Lindsay, because she's drinking.
Oh yeah, she's pouring tall shots, everything.
So 3:42. Amanda and Paige are basically dating. Okay. These two have now left each other's side. They are grinding on each other. They are touching each other. They are loving life. But Andrea's watching and he is in love with Paige. He's telling his buddies that was Paige. You see Paige?
That's my girl.
And then Maya meets this guy. He's like, "Hey, what's your name?" And she's like, "I'm Maya. And your name is," and I don't know what his name is, but it doesn't matter. But whatever his name is, she goes, "Oh my God, I had a dog that was similarly named to your name." And then she's like, "I forgot how to flirt."
Oh my God. This would be hard.
So now it's 4:08. Danielle's watching Robert cook and thinks he's the cutest thing.
Yeah, but she ain't happy.
She doesn't even eat seafood. That's this part. She goes, "I don't even eat seafood."
Die. This is where you're like, I hate that I live in this giant rooming situation where he's catering to the needs of my roommates in a caring way, but I want you to focus on me. I don't even eat seafood.
He's cooking food for everyone and she just wants to hang out because she loves him so much.
She just wants quality time because she never gets to see him. And even whenever she gets to see him at this house, he's fucking cooking.
I know. That's the roommate's fault. They're like, get on the grill. Lindsay flirting with everyone and everything. She's like, "Hey, hottie, how you doing? Hey, hot stuff, how you doing? Hey, buddy, how you doing?"
The entire episode, she's basically walking around the pool, sashaying around the pool. And she's like, "Hey."
She got her 10,000 steps, and anyone who crosses her path, she's going to flirt with for 10 minutes and then leave.
You're so right.
No one knows where the fuck Kyle is. And honestly, Amanda doesn't care. And she even is dancing with her friends. And she's like, "I don't love him right now." She's like, "I love him, but not right now." I was like,
I love her so much. I wish I could put things in a box like she's doing right now.
I know. God, Alex is still talking about food and shit to some girl. Doesn't matter. So it's 4:31. Carl is super into Sierra and he's telling Amanda about it. And Amanda's like, well, you live here, so that's fine. And you're both
Lindsay,
single.
I think comes up at one point too during this conversation.
Lindsay comes up and Carl's like, I'm sober and I think I'm in a good place. And Amanda's like, I'm rooting for you. I love you. So they do like a cute hug because I love the Carl and Amanda friendship.
Me
and
too.
Then Lindsay's there and she's like, me too. So they do a fun 3-way kiss, the three of them. And then that's when Amanda and Lindsay are like, is this the first time we've kissed? Amanda's willing to kiss anyone but Kyle right now.
Literally. She's like, everybody who wants these lips, come at me.
Come get them.
They're free today.
So it's 4:53. Lindsay's still walking around the pool. Robert's finally done.
I wish they would have done a lap count.
Heck no, that would have been hilarious. Robert's finally done cooking. Danielle is so excited. And Danielle is like, I always want you here, Robert. And he's like, I know, but I might not be able to come out for another weekend. This
like,
might
you should expect me not to be here.
Never.
I'm going to be very honest.
Expect me never.
Yeah.
And Danielle's like, I know we're both workaholics, but I just want him around. So then she tells him, she's like, no, I want to see you because you're never around. And I'm like, oh my God, mom and dad are fighting. Like immediately, I was like, no.
I was like, we can't have this many people fighting at once. Like I cannot handle this when Amanda and Kyle are fighting. Please contain yourself.
It wasn't like a bad fight.
No,
obviously, like
it was more like bickering, like disagreement. Yeah. Not really a fight.
I want to hang out with you. I want you to spend time with me. And Robert's like, I'm opening this restaurant. I can't right now. She's like, but you should try and make time for me. And Robert's like, with what time?
What sucks is like, this is a normal person fight. And I felt this and I appreciated it because I'm like, Danielle, you can't be mad at him. He's working so hard. But then I'm like, Danielle's lonely. Robert, go see her.
I know. I would sit at the bar and watch my man cook and be like, this is it. This is our day.
Yeah, but like, he doesn't cook at the bar.
Oh my God.
You can't really like hang out with him, especially in like COVID world. You can't just like pop in for no reason.
I know. It's just like, I was like, I literally go, no, mom and dad, stop.
This is like, I feel like what a lot of people struggle with, even in like friendships. Like this is really hard because there's only 24 hours in a day. How do you fit so many things in? Yeah,
you're working for like, let's say 9 every day. You have to sleep for 9. So it's 18 hours out of 24.
But like, that's like a standard day. Like he's opening a new restaurant, like the amount of time and effort that goes into that. I'm sure he like is out the door before she really is like out of bed and home really late.
I was going to say his work hours are probably different from her work hours. He's probably there when she's free. It just
actually, that's probably it, is like she's working in the morning. He's like sleeping in because he probably works till like 11 midnight.
Yeah. And then she's up early working and he leaves probably around noon to go to the restaurant.
Yeah. So it's like you're just 2 ships passing in the night.
Oh,
fix this, please. I need you to.
I know. So now it's 5:12. Carl cannot drink, so he is chowing down on some food and it is hot, hot, hot. This man could eat anything and I'm into it. Lindsay is like kind of meeting this guy and he's like, we've met. And she's like, have we? So she's like, I'm putting out my pheromones.
Oh my God. I'm like, Lindsay, shut the fuck up and just look cute.
She feels like she's on top of the world. She walks up to Alex, gives him a kiss and walks away. And Carl,
what a pool lap she did.
I know. And she's like, who cares? Who wants to suck on my nipples? Who wants to make out? Her and Amanda are giving off same vibes, but Amanda's not actually going to kiss everyone.
Yes.
Lindsay will follow.
Well, Amanda will kiss all the girls.
Amanda will kiss to an extent. Lindsay's letting anyone touch her tits.
Lindsay's like, who wants to come at me? Truly come at me.
Yeah. So Alex then takes Lindsay into the pool. So I'm like, are these two going to hook up? I have no idea.
I was like, here we go. But like, Alex is boring. Lindsay would never stand for this. Alex is worse than Stravy. I would take Stravy over Alex.
But Lindsay's not going to talk to him. She's just going to bang him and see him in the next weekend.
They live together.
We're not going to actually date.
Lindsay's but if you saw someone cook 2 pounds of turkey and ate it, would you ever be into that?
No, but if I was drunk and horny, I'd be like, sure, whatever, weirdo.
I guess. I already have I don't even want to be friends with you.
Lindsay can't talk right now to anyone judging her. She's doing hot girl shit.
Well, you know what? I guess her question would be, did you make turkey for me too?
Yeah. How many turkeys have you made for me? So Amanda is dancing with Andrea. They're doing like a fun little salsa dance, and she's into it. See, it's fun how she can flirt with Andrea because there's nothing that's gonna happen, but it's very fun.
I love it.
She did. Oh no, she was in love with Jason on Winter House. It doesn't matter. She's into anyone at this point. Paige is flirting with Andrea. Carl and Sierra get into the pool together. Kyle finds a bunch of random groupies and sends it with them. Sierra's on Carl's shoulders. Maya's flirting with some cute guy that she thinks looks familiar,
it's Paige's friends.
I think he looks familiar, but also he could be any other white guy.
Yeah, that's true. He does have a very generic face. You're right.
He looks, yeah. So, but Maya doesn't, again, she doesn't know how to date. She literally Googled how to date, but I kind of felt that.
I appreciate that. Dude, 2 years in a pandemic and I feel that hard. I can't imagine 5 years in engagement, and they probably dated before that too.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Lindsay's still walking around the pool. She's waving. This is when she starts flailing her hands everywhere.
She's like the crazy grandma a little bit though.
I love her though. This is when, so Andrea and Paige are, hanging out at the bar. And this is when Andrea is clearly drunk because he gets into his feels a little bit.
And he says, I'm not saying this because I'm drunk. I'm like, that is clear red flags of like, I'm wasted.
But he says he really likes Paige a lot and he just wants her to be happy. So if pregnant is what makes
he starts off and he's like, we have a lot of memories together.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, it's been 6 months. I'm just going to let you know.
Vermont meant a lot to this dude. And so then while they're talking, Paige is eating it up. She's like, I know, thank you. And then this girl comes up to say, hey, to Andrea. And Paige is kind of like, the fuck? We're in the middle of complimenting me.
Yeah. Yeah. Like you were just talking to me. Like, I know it wasn't like a
bad timing.
Yeah, she like other girl walked up and was just like, hey, I think she was leaving. And so and Andrea was like, this is whatever her name is. And Paige was like,
Paige. And Paige was like, no. Hi. Bad timing.
Bye.
So now it's 5:29. Some girl's talking to Amanda and is like, I get so many girl compliments at this house. And Amanda's like, we love girls. Yeah. Fuck the men. We love girls.
That is what I do love is the like, outside of a little bit of boy drama, the like girl power in this house, no matter what season, is pretty strong. I mean, there's always going to be drama between any female males, but
like if I got invited to this party, I'd feel comfortable showing up and not being afraid the girls are going to come at me or the girls are going to judge me or whatever. And I would love if Paige came over and was like, I love your outfit or like anything. Like, you look so pretty. I love this. I love that. Like, I'd be like,
I feel like the vibe of this show is they want these parties to be really fun at their house. So they're so welcoming and nice to everyone.
Yeah. Lindsay is jumping on some dude, dancing with him.
Yeah, after the beer pong game. Table. I'm like, what? Truly, she will jump on anything.
She literally goes celebrity shot, and I don't know if she made or missed. I'm hoping she made it, and she just jumps on this dude. She's like, woo!
I'm like, can we get a name? Do we know anything about this person? Where did he come from?
No, because he doesn't matter to Lindsay. She just wants a hot body right now.
That is true.
So Carl and Sierra talk, and Sierra tells Carl how she's going to move to New York, and Carl's hyping up Sierra. He's like, got this.
You're so impressive. Wow. You're so mature.
So that was around 5:29. So now it's 5:38. So it's been 9 minutes and they're still flirting. And Carl says that he has to stop grilling so he can talk to Sierra more. And Sierra's like, yeah, I know, this is like really the first time we're kind of talking. Like, obviously they've chatted, but they've never sat
they're
down
definitely
and
interested, in each other. So this is the first, despite spending all last season together, that was different. Like, that was Sierra's first time. So she's just trying to make friends with everyone.
He didn't go to Winter House. And So Carl does tell her that he usually gets in trouble when he like dates people in the house, but he's in a different spot. And I mean, he's single and she's single.
So like, let's make it happen.
Sierra's like, yeah, definitely. I'm into this. And then in her interview, she's like, Austin doesn't want to date me. And Carl's here.
Here we go.
Fuck Austin. And so, this is when Sierra asks the $1 million question. Do you feel like you have to be with someone who's sober? Because I wonder the same thing.
I agree.
Carl says he doesn't really know, but he thinks it would be fun to date someone who drinks, because, he can be in that environment.
That's not a problem.
It would just probably, from my opinion, it would have to be someone who's not going to pressure him to drink or pressure him to go out if he doesn't want to, and maybe give up a few nights of partying to stay in with him or do something that he wants to
do. Can't be like a Kyle who kind of doesn't have limits. It has to be someone who's like super respectful, doesn't have to drink, drinks casually, like really handles himself well.
Maybe like tells Carl like, hey, I'm gonna get wasted tonight, just so you know, or is that okay?
But then like in some situations doesn't drink with him, is like very flexible based on like what's going on.
Or has like a beer and is like, whatever, we'll chill.
Exactly.
But yeah, so that's great because Sierra loves to turn up, so that's fine.
So she can still have her moments, which I don't think Carl would ever be upset with these like party moments, but it's like back when they were last season, like quarantining together, it's like every night of the week, you don't need a drink. It's like he would need somebody to be like, all right, let's just chill and like, let's have some tea. And like, while everybody's having their lover boys.
I think if it's like, hey, we're obviously throwing a party in the Hamptons, I'm going to get drunk. Carl will be like, yeah,
that makes sense.
That's fine. But like at dinner on a Tuesday, you don't have to get wasted.
No.
Like it's unnecessary. Okay. So, this is when I like still don't really know what happened. So
I think I do.
He pushes a girl into the pool.
Yes.
And she's mad about it.
Yes.
And he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like you could push me in the pool.
Yes.
So she then pushes him in the pool. And I like thought it was fine. And Paige like comes over and she's like, oh, look at you all wet or whatever. And then this other girl.
Yes, the friend. It wasn't the girl who got pushed in the pool.
No.
Because the girl who got pushed in the pool, I think, was in white. And the girl who, I'm going to say, kicked him was either in pink or red.
The girl that kicked him was in pink. I thought the girl that got pushed in the pool was
in red.
One.
Okay, then that's what it was. They were in different colors.
Yes. So then Paige is like, Andrea's in the pool and he like swims to the edge and he's like, hey, Paige. And Paige is like, hey, because she's out of the pool, but like talking to him. And then this friend fucking out of nowhere punches him in the face. Like
it's like a slap punch, but like right on the nose.
But like hard. I think she fisted, man, and it made that noise. And he's like, holy shit. So his hands are still like on the edge of the pool. And in her heel, she tries to step on them. So
it was like that block little heel thing. I was like, oh, whoa.
And Paige is like, what the fuck? And she's like pissed, but also like, did that just happen?
Just stunned. Yeah.
So Paige like sits down on the edge of the pool and is like, oh my God, you're bleeding, but like feeds him some lover boy because she's
Love
like,
it. Look at her taking care of him.
But yeah, Andrea's like really bleeding and he's in shock. He's like, I can't believe like
what just happened? I think he keeps saying like, what happened?
What just happened? He like, I think Paige is trying to be like, let me nurse you back to health. And he's like, what happened? Kind of thing. And so he's like, he's visibly upset that this happened to him and he doesn't understand why he was punched in the face. And Paige is like, if there's one thing I love, it's a good girl fight. So you're not gonna make her man feel sad. So
or anyone in this house. This is where I like love the defensiveness is they would all come for each other's rescue if they like witness this.
So Paige gets up because now everyone's like, Andrea, you're bleeding. And Paige leaves. She's like, goodbye, I'll be back.
She's like, let me handle.
She walks into this house with a mission on her mind and she finds these girls. They're already calling an Uber, but she's like, hey, I think you guys need to go. And they're like, yeah, we're calling an Uber. She goes, great. So I'll just show you the door and you'll wait out there for your Uber. Yeah. And so she walks in and she's like, great, thanks for coming. Get the fuck out of my house.
Love
it. The door. I was scared these girls were going to come back because they were a little bigger than Paige.
I was a little concerned when she walked into that kitchen.
Here's my thing. I love a good girl fight sometimes. If your opponent is physically ready to kick your ass, that's my issue. I'm not going to fight with you on that. I'm not going to physically fight you. I was going to say,
I love girl fights because they're really great verbally, but it's terrifying when they turn to physical because like hair pulling and those heels.
There's one party that's not ready.
Yeah.
And that would have been 3
and like claws and like, I think they're a little bit more dangerous than guys like punching each other. Like, you don't know if you're going to get a whole chunk of your hair pulled out, if you're going to have a deep gash from some nails.
I think it's because guys do a punch. So there's always a moment of like, go back, hit, go back, hit. Girls, once you get your
typically, I feel like your hair gets pulled when you're walking away.
Yeah. girls don't let go. Once the hands are in, you don't even get a second to breathe before the next punch comes. You are fully always being pulled in a direction.
Good point.
And also guys punch, right? So it's a fist that hits you, which is like nice. Girls have their fingers everywhere, so they can go in your eyes, they can go up your nose.
Stop. I'm already getting scared watching you do this.
Yeah.
And usually I feel like one punch and done. If the guy were to fall, like the other guy typically would just then be like, I'm done.
Yeah, what the
Girls
fuck?
do not stop. It is death or nothing.
Because it's not one punch and done. You got to choke them out to get them unconscious.
You're doing everything. I want to cause the most physical pain. I don't. I would never do this. It scares me to death.
I would only step in if someone's about to fight my friend. I would never for my own sake fight it.
No.
I'd be like, no.
I'd be fucking terrified if somebody did it to me too.
Yeah, especially poor little Paige. I'm happy producers were probably there, but if someone heard me go the fuck out of my house, I think they would come back.
I would lock the door behind it. I guess there's probably a keypad, but still.
I didn't lock it, and I was like, oh, I hope that there's a producer out there.
Put that deadbolt on there, bitch.
Yeah. So anyway, back to the party. Maya and Sierra are talking, and Sierra's talking about Carl. Sierra's just obsessed with Carl. She wants to fuck him real bad, and he probably has a huge dick.
Oh God, I want more of this, and it kind of disappoints me similar to the Andrea Paige story that we know the end that Carl and Lindsay are together, because it kind of ruins watching it.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want Sierra and Carl. I know that's a hot take.
I want them to like have maybe a little hookup, like have some fun flirty banter, like get to where Paige and Andrea are.
I don't want it.
Well, I really want it because I want when Austin comes, like her to have something else.
No, there's like no part of me that wants any drama with Sierra Austin. I don't want Carl in the middle of that. I don't want her touching Carl.
I want them to like flirt, and I want them to kiss a little bit. I want them to have a makeout in the pantry from House 3 seasons ago.
You're very different. I was like, no, literally anyone but Sierra.
Because it doesn't seem like Lindsay can really handle like a fun relationship. Yeah. And I need something else, because we don't get Robert and Danielle. Mom and dad, Kyle and Amanda are just like a nightmare. Paige is like not there with Andrea, and we know Craig is coming, so it's like
I'd be in for Maya and Carl. There's something Sierra.
They just haven't clicked yet.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, I don't think.
And I need Alex just to leave the fucking house. I've never wanted Luke more in my entire life, because at least that's the devil I know.
I miss him so much. He is the goddess. I know.
He gives the in-between shit that like they're serving us with Alex, and I hate Alex's stuff.
Yeah, Luke's at least fun with his in-between shit. I love it. Fun shit.
I want him singing a song on his guitar in his room. I don't want Alex eating 2 pounds of turkey.
Luke can't talk right now. He's doing Midwest shit. That's the fun part of it.
I love our Midwest. Okay, he's in the photo, so where the hell is he? But like, we'll get there, I'm sure.
He's in Minnesota right now.
Okay, that's true. This is one weekend.
Yeah, we've had 2 episodes over 2 days. I'm stressed. So Amanda and Kyle are both drunk, but they're like different types of drunk. Kyle is like sulking, kind of sad, walking around, taking a occasional
Which I love. I love that he's not having fun.
I know. Amanda is another, even Danielle is like, you gotta stop this girl.
Feeling herself. She is dancing on that jacuzzi so hard.
She's making eye contact with Danielle the whole time, and Danielle is just like, this is not a good idea, Amanda. Everyone's upset.
Yeah.
Anyway, speaking of Danielle, Robert comes over to talk to her, and Danielle's very upset because she just wants to hang out with Robert, and Robert doesn't seem to understand that. And Robert doesn't think Danielle understands that he has other shit happening. Not that he's not prioritizing Danielle, that because it's his livelihood.
This is tough because like I'm on Robert's side.
I am too, but I understand like a drunk Danielle.
Yes.
Like a drunk me gets like that. Like, you'll hang out with me enough.
Yes. And then what's worse is he's like, I'm physically here with you right now, but you're bringing us down by talking about it, which I get it, because everybody needs to talk about their feelings and get things out. The more you drink, the more you want to. And Robert just leaving the pool, he's like, I'm not doing this.
Also, I don't think Robert's drunk yet because he was cooking. So I think
he is definitely not the type to be like, okay, Carl's not drunk, but Carl, old school Carl probably would have been sitting by the grill, drunk, flipping the burgers. But like Robert is a real chef that he's like, I'm going to cook and then I'm going to, in a sense, get off work and then drink.
And Danielle's drunk. So
absolutely.
So it's bad. So Paige finds Andrea in his bed, icing his.
This is
his
so
wound.
sad. I
Really
kind of think he's milking this a little bit though.
A little bit, but I think he's genuinely sad that like a girl is upset with him. Over
I think he
this.
sees that a girl is upset with him, and he is, I think, shocked because he doesn't know, he's not that person who would ever do that. So he's confused at what happened. Yeah.
He would never on purpose disrespect a girl, and he feels like he really fucked up. So I think he's reflecting.
100%.
So Andrea's still shocked, and Paige is like trying to comfort him by flirting.
Love
and it's very funny because Andrea's like not
serious,
trying, but then it turns into like he feels like he's just so sad, and Paige is like, okay, we should snuggle. And then Andrea's like, wait, we need to talk.
Yes.
And he doesn't think Paige was mean, but Paige is very straight up. And then Paige starts talking to Andrea about Craig. And she says, like, it was never premeditated. It wasn't happening at Winter House. He had a girlfriend, but then they broke up. And
yeah, like, here's our history.
And she, like, you know, it just happened. They're Bravo celebrities, Andrea, for years. They're like,
yeah, we've known each other for a while. It's been this back and forth. She said it didn't affect our relationship. I didn't stop seeing you because I was into him, or like he finally got out of a relationship. It just kind of was poor timing.
And then Andrea says he's more sad that Craig didn't tell him because he feels like him and Craig had a friendship.
I know.
That part makes
I'm like, oh, dagger.
Because I never thought about that. Like that.
I didn't either. Especially because we have tried to look up whenever Craig and his girlfriend stopped dating and can't really pinpoint a date. But like, you come out of the summer house and they were probably like texting and buds. And then like, while he's like hooking up with Paige, like they're still texting. And then like him and Craig and Paige start hooking up. So then it's like, did his friendship with Craig also die off when his like, Andrea's relationship with Craig and Paige die kind of at the same time?
Also, I was trying to think, like, did they really connect that much in Winter House? We didn't get a ton of Craig, but there was that. Do you remember that scene where like Austin heard from Madison? So Craig was in Austin's room with him, and Andrea came in and talked with them too. It was the three of them. Yeah. So I do think Andrea made like a bromance with these guys.
And even at the top of the mountain, that's how Craig was the one saying like, well, Andrea is telling us different things about Paige. Like, I think she needs to be made aware of this. Like, I think those three hung out a little bit more than,
Which is weird because Craig should have been calling out his bitch ass friend Austin. Jesus.
Oh, all the time, but whatever.
So Andrea, he said he was like kind of scared to walk into the summer house and talk to Paige.
See her. Oh my God.
When he saw her, he was like all giddy. And so he like felt fine. And Paige was eating it up. She was like, I'm here for it. And I guess in the middle of them having sex one time, Andrea said that she is the smallest person he's ever had sex with, but Paige thinks it's so funny.
I cannot imagine like that happening. It kills me. But this
is like comfort though. Like they were so comfortable with each other that now they laugh about how funny.
Yes. Oh my God. Like you can this conversation about them being mid-sex and him saying this, but it tells you the level of the relationship they did get to. So like Andrea's full in. Yeah.
So then Andrea's like, I don't want to leave you, but I really have to pee. Is that okay? He's like, I'm so sorry. And Paige is like, yes, go pee. But luckily, like she can like sense where Paige is in a bed. Her snuggle buddy Sierra comes in.
Her superhero power. Sierra's superhero power.
Andrea, of course, knowing who the real couple is, he's like, Sierra, take my spot. I'm gonna go pee. Also, can I just say, Summer House freaks me out because they always get under the covers in their bathing suits, and I'll never understand.
Yeah, but if you're like dry, that would bother me.
I don't know. Andrea.
Oh, I bet Andrea was wet.
Got pushed in the pool.
That's a good point.
It freaks me out slightly, but it's fine. But yeah, Paige then tells Sierra, Andrea is so hot and so nice, and she doesn't know who she likes more. I think Paige had a more emotional relationship with Craig because they have known each other for so long.
Like they've been pining and waiting.
Yeah, it's been like a built up.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Andrea, it was shorter.
Hot and heavy early on.
He questioned it a little bit of where his head was. So he took longer to get there. Whereas Paige and Craig have been into this for so long that the minute they're single, they're like, we're in. We're doing it.
And I think, I wonder if Paige always doubted because there was the conversation in the winter house about like, he's just here to hook up with you for 2 weeks. And then like, he's going to be seeing every girl in the city. So I wonder if there was doubt when they did get back to the city, like, is he still seeing other people? Will that happen? Like, we've talked about it a few times. We think Paige is kind of intimidated by how hot Andrea is and like what's going to happen there. Whereas like, not saying Craig isn't hot, but like, I want to be as
he's
concerned.
Not as beautiful as Andrea. Like, Andrea like, walks in a room and jaws drop.
Everyone knows everything. You'd see it immediately on social media if Craig did something. Whereas like Andrea's an up and coming star that like he could do things behind her back still.
I think Andrea too is like, he's still in his 20s, whereas Craig's in his 30s. So Craig's probably more willing to settle down. Like, I think Paige sees like Craig will propose and like do all that shit. Whereas Andrea, it's like, we're gonna date for a while before we see what's happening.
And Paige at least like knows of the universe of Southern Charm and knows of his life with Naomi. So it's like he had that like home life. They live together. Like she can literally visualize it because it is on TV. Whereas Andrea's just this like giant question mark.
New unknown thing. I know. So then Amanda, I love Amanda. She grabs Robert of all people. She's like, Robert, come in the house. And Robert's like, whatever, Danielle's pissed. I don't care who I end up with. So Robert says that he heard about Amanda and Kyle fighting. Yeah. She's like, I know. And then that was it. Didn't it end there? It just like ended.
Yeah. He was like, she was like, it's been a weird day. And I think he was like, yeah, I know everything.
Yeah. And then it was like, next time. I was like, oh, I don't know what that is. But next time on Summer House, we go out again. Southern Charm is coming. Andrea feels like him and Paige are back, but then Craig is in the building and there's a love triangle, and I'm not ready to be sad about it.
No, especially with Andrea being like, Craig, can I talk to you? I'm like,
yeah, the boys have a little chat and Kyle and Amanda fight some more, which whatever. Honestly, I'm like gonna get my heart broken and I'm like sad about it.
This is just insane. I kind of don't like that. Like, I know the ending of a lot of this stuff, but I have no clue how we get here.
I don't like that I like Andrea because now I feel for him.
You like set yourself up for failure.
Yeah, like I wish, because we even knew, right, Craig and Paige were dating in Winter House.
Yes.
And we were watching Paige and we were like, whatever, Andrea, like you're not gonna win. But something happened where we were like, we do like him and we like,
I think it's knowing, for me, it's knowing that when she showed up to that summer house, we got that background that they like did date for a while in after Winter House, and then
he
like
really likes her. And
yes, him showing up and talking about her, like you could tell something was different when he showed up to the summer house versus when he was even leaving the Winter House.
Oh, I know, my whole
he is
heart.
like truly smitten and all in on this.
I'm not ready, but let's do fun, not fun. So
okay, which one do you want to do first?
I don't know. I really want to look at who I did last week, just because I think I want to pick the same people.
You want to pick the same people?
Yeah, I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna pick the same person as I did last week, so I want to try to avoid that. So
I feel
that was a lot of fun.
Yes,
in my opinion. Let's do not fun first, and you go first because I'm.
This is tough because like. I think Kyle sucks, but it's for the same reason as last time. And I don't think during the party he really sucked that much outside of just like avoiding a fight, which I get. So to be honest,
I think I have mine if that helps.
You're gonna hate me. You go first, but you're gonna hate me. Okay, I'm picking Danielle. I really wanted her to be more fun. That Robert was there.
I understand. Blinded.
I know that she's sad, but like I wanted fun Robert whenever he came, and like I wanted them to be like so in love. I wanted them to be how they were at the beginning of the episode when he was like tickling her and she was in the towel. I want the like happiness and honeymoon phase, and they're not in it, and I get it. It's been a year.
I get it, but I don't want it.
But like we get Robert probably for one episode, and this is what you do to us.
This is like real adult shit.
Not
We're like,
fun.
Oh, we hate it.
No, this is summer camp. When we come to Summer House, you take the stance of Amanda and Kyle, and we're not fighting. I appreciate that stance that they're taking right now.
I'm gonna pick Alex because this man literally does nothing but talk about food, eat food, and cook food, and I hate.
And like how he's
the worst addition.
We barely touched on it, but like he's allergic to alcohol, and he's like droning on about it to a girl, which like
my God,
I get it because like every Asian is allergic to alcohol, so they get red, but like, just accept it. Nobody like cares that much.
I literally wanted to die. This man grinds my gears. I would rather have Hannah back than this fucking fool.
Agreed. Actually, and full on agreed. Because at least she brings something to the table.
Hannah was trending on Twitter last night. It was Summer House Hannah. So I looked and it was literally a bunch of people just saying like, I'm so glad Hannah's not on Summer House, which is like so sad to watch. But honestly, I would take 10 Hannahs than have this fucking weirdo back.
Me too. Because at least like we would get her in the like Sierra and Paige in the bed, and like she's fine in those situations. She would bring something to these discussions.
Yeah.
Although she would be horrible with the Amanda Kyle fighting.
But she could be TV. She could be.
Yeah, she brings TV. Something, whether you hate her or love her. I'm tired of talking about Kyle's menu for the day.
I agree. Okay, fun. There was so much fun.
Loved it. I'm really struggling between two, so I want you to pick yours, so hopefully I can pick the other.
Oh no, I gotta pick my fun. Oh,
yeah,
man, I think everyone was fun. You know what? I'm gonna, like I said, I think everyone was a lot of fun.
Me too.
And so I don't think there's a bad answer to this. And I'm gonna pick someone that I don't think is gonna be fun the rest of the season, but he was fun this episode. I'm gonna pick Andrea. Because he's flirting with Paige, he's making pasta, he really dancing with Amanda.
I didn't even have him in my lineup, so I love that you picked him.
He did get punched in the face, but then that gave him the ability to be really vulnerable.
Okay, but I don't find him what he did to be a dick. I understand if he didn't know her phone was in her pocket, that's probably why she's pissed. But like, I've been to a million like swim parties, especially like I feel like teen years, like. You just get thrown in the pool. You never have your phone on you.
Don't have your phone on you.
And iPhones are waterproof now. Come on.
That's what actually on Twitter someone said that. But yeah, I just think, listen, I really like him and Paige. I know how it ends, but for the
let him have this moment.
For the sake of the show, I'm rooting for it. I really like him getting vulnerable with Paige. I like them talking. I like him being drunk, and I like him complimenting her and her eating it up. I think it's a fun dynamic.
Yeah.
And I think he's a great addition to the Summer House / Winter House. He's done nothing but be great TV.
Agreed. Anyway. I'm gonna make my quick because I know you want to do Watch What Happens Live stuff, but I'm gonna pick Lindsay. I know she wasn't chatting much, but she was feeling herself, and I totally get like wanting to like walk around when you're drunk. You want to like mingle with everyone, and I'm all in. I think she obviously went through something tragic, and I'm really liking how she's handling it. It's great TV, and I am all in on Lindsay these days.
Love Lindsay was my other one. I was so obsessed. Anyway, really quick, I did a few polls on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
One tweet said, when the new Supreme rises, the old one dies. It's Summer House versus Vanderpump. So I made everyone vote. We had 16 votes. 14 people voted for Summer House and 2 people voted for Vanderpump.
Interesting. I think maybe it does for those 2 people. Maybe we need like one more amazing year of Summer House and one more bad year of Vanderpump, and they would probably switch their answer.
Definitely. I also asked if people like Alex, and 8 people said no, and 4 people said yes.
Interesting. So, I guess like I'm just annoyed by him, so I can't. Everything he does now annoys me.
I know,
but I'm gonna hold out a candle for him to get better. It's only episode 2.
The tweet is, just need to remind everyone that Kyle is 40 and still acting like this. And I then thought, is Kyle the Summer House Jax? And 8 people said yes and 3 people said no. But
the only difference I think in between them is that I think Jax is like really misogynistic and a true asshole when he's not drunk and just in every situation. Kyle, I think, is a fine person.
But
in a normal situation,
it's the same pattern.
Absolutely.
Every year.
Yes, they have the same patterns. He definitely is that character of this reality show. I just think I think Kyle is a better human being.
I agree.
He just sucks to be in a relationship with, if I'm going to be honest there.
Yeah. I asked Carl versus Austin, and 6 people voted for Carl. No one voted for Austin. So sorry. Then I asked, did Andrea deserve to get punched in the face? 5 people said no, and 1 person said yes.
I get it. I mean, it is kind of it is slightly a dick move to like push a girl in a pool, but I wouldn't be that upset. Yeah, and not that far.
You know, is Carl packing? Does he have a huge thing? And all 6 people said
yes.
And I was one of them. Okay, so really quick, Watch What Happens Live. It was Amanda and Sierra with Luke, Maya, and Carl in the audience.
Kyle.
That's what I said.
You said Carl.
I said Carl. Oh.
Mm-hmm. I do the same thing. It's
Kyle,
so hard
Maya,
not to.
Luke. Yeah. So watch what happens live question. If you were in Paige's shoes, who would you pick? Craig or Andrea? And I think it's hard because we know the ending.
I know.
So like
it's you're gonna pick Craig
wins.
Oh my God.
Craig won like 70-30.
Yeah.
Amanda is Craig. She was like, Craig. I picked Craig. Sierra goes whoever Paige wants. So I think Sierra's like a fun moment.
I wonder if she sees like something in Paige's relationship with Andrea that she doesn't see with Craig.
Next question. Do you like Sierra and Carl as a potential couple? 58% of people said no. I was one of them. I voted.
I don't want them to like date long term. I just want them to hook up this season.
Don't. Will Lindsay and Alex hook up? 81% of people said no. Do Kyle and Amanda deserve the primary suite? I said yes. 73% of people said no.
Here's the thing. I don't like that it's just a default always. They expect it. I don't like that. Yeah. But Luke, I think they deserve it.
They asked Luke, and Luke was just kind of like, Luke, he's like, I don't care. They've been on the show forever. If they want the suite, that's fine. Do you think Amanda should have called off the wedding?
Yes.
65% of people said yes. Yeah, so they talk about the Kyle and Amanda issues. Obviously, it's just built up frustration, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, great. So now they played this game called Boy Toys by Bravo. And he asked Sierra, are these deal breakers? And they all relate to a Bravo, like something that a Bravo celebrity does.
Okay.
So one was, he likes to do number 2 with the door open, and they showed a picture of Jax pooping with the door open. And she said deal breaker, and I think it's deal breaker.
I think it's like if I'm Kyle and Amanda, by that point you're like so far in a relationship. But yeah, for like a new boyfriend, yeah, that's a deal breaker. Okay,
next deal breaker. I don't have all of Sierra's answers, so I'll just for us. He likes to sew.
No, that's not a deal breaker.
Yeah,
I would actually love it because I don't know how
they showed a picture of Craig.
I have like 3 things I would love to have a boy sew for me.
The flirting game sucks, and it's relating to Wes from Below Deck. I watch Below Deck, so I thought it was funny because he does suck at flirting, and he's like very cute. But it's not a deal breaker, but I don't think I'd be attracted to him. Like I like a good banter, so I don't think I would get there. Yeah. And Andy said, Sierra, I think you and Wes would make a cute couple. And Sierra was like, set it up. That's fine. He is really focused on his diet and his workouts. Alex. Deal breaker. I can't, you gotta be able to let loose. I don't care if you're like strict during the week or during certain times, but like have a fucking cheeseburger with me. Yeah. He's a moocher, and we saw a picture of Brock. Oh, I know they shaded. Oh my God. Deal breaker. I don't know if it'd be like, it depends on the level. Like Brock's level isn't like true danger zone for me yet. The only reason it's a danger zone is because the engagement stuff for me personally. But like, if I made that much money, it wouldn't bother me to kind of like float us a little bit more, like in Sheena's position. Actually, they ask another one about Brock, and it's has to split your engagement ring over credit card. Yes, that's a problem. If you can't actually like commit to saving up for like 3 months or however much time you need, that's a deal breaker for me. He's straight, but he likes to make out with guys, and this is from Below Deck too. There's this straight guy who just always makes out with this like gay guy. Interesting. I don't know how I'd feel. It's not like a deal breaker. I mean, like, it's not a deal breaker. If we're dating and you're kissing other people, then that's a deal breaker. If we're not dating, then fine, I'll still be into you. And actually, Sarah goes, I could make that work. So she was into it. And then he loves igloos so much. Oh my God. Not a deal breaker. I actually really want an igloo now. I would do it. If anything, that's a turn on a little bit. I'm in. Deal breaker, I don't want to build it, but like if I showed up and you built me an igloo, yeah, that's hot. Yeah. Okay, then we did who's packing more heat. Are you ready? Yep. Craig versus Austin. I feel like Austin. That's what they said. They said Austin. Andrea or Jason? Ooh, Andrea. I think one said Andrea and one said Jason. Sandoval or Schwartz? Schwartz. That's what they said. I was like, really?
Yeah, I can't do Sandoval.
Michael B. Jordan or Jacob Elordi from Euphoria.
Jacob Elordi, I love him so much.
Very split. It was very split. I love Michael B. Jordan. Daniel Radcliffe or Rupert Grint?
Daniel Radcliffe.
They said Rupert. I was
interesting.
Rupert. James Kennedy or Brock?
James Kennedy.
James. Yep. Alex or Luke?
I guess Luke. Yeah.
I think Luke.
I need to see Alex's personality more, and I just don't think it'll ever come on camera. I cannot do with how large his muscles is.
Yeah,
but...
it was more like big dick energy was what they were getting at. Like, big dick energy.
Yeah,
but, like,
I think Luke, he seems like a sly guy that just would
secretly packing heat. Yeah. Tobey Maguire or Leonardo DiCaprio?
I feel like Tobey Maguire.
Oh my God, that's what Amanda said. I was like, no. I literally wrote down LOL, Amanda picked Toby. Okay, Toby. And then Shep or Jax?
I'm
doing
like,
Shep.
Yeah, I feel like Shep.
They did Shep too. They were both like Shep, obviously. So I found out from this Watch What Happens Live, Amanda hates Austin. She shaded him so many fucking times on this show about everything. It was like, do we think Sierra and Austin are a good, like, should they have dated? And Amanda's like, no. She played this game where it was like she had to, Sierra described someone behind Amanda with clues, and Amanda had to guess who it was. And she described like Austin, and Amanda literally goes, ugh, Austin Kroll. Like that, like so upset.
That kind of like, I feel like sometimes he gets a bad rap, but he was very honest about where he was at. Like, I know it like destroyed Sierra, but like she kind of got herself into that situation.
I know. Okay, and then last thing Andy asked that I want your opinion on. Who is getting engaged next? Paige and Craig, Carl and Lindsay, or Danielle and Robert?
If I'm honest, I really think it's going to be Danielle and Robert, but I think Lindsay and Carl would be next because Lindsay has a plan.
So Lindsay and Carl bought a car together.
Shut the fuck up.
That was outed on what someone said, like, well, they just bought a car. And Andy was like, what?
Whoa.
So out of these three, Sierra picked Paige and Craig, Amanda picked Carl and Lindsay, and Andy picked Danielle and Robert.
Yeah, like they seem like the most solidified relationship to get engaged. Like they seem like they'd be on a normal person timeline, I'll say. But I know Lindsay wants a marriage and babies.
Yeah, it was a full thing.
I think Craig and Paige are more likely to make it than Lindsay and Carl.
No, I think Lindsay and Carl are like dream couple.
I just do, but I think they would wait a little bit longer. Like I think they would get engaged in like 2 years, Paige and Craig, if they like make it there.
I don't know, but yeah, they didn't pick Robert and Danielle. I was obviously like Robert and Danielle.
Yeah, that makes the most sense.
Yeah, even Andy was like, "What? What do we not know?"
Very
and then he's like, "Sierra, you're Paige's friend, and you picked her and Craig." And Sierra's like, "No, Paige would make a great wife." But yeah, so that's it. Whoop whoop. We got it going.
Well,
okay. Thanks for listening. Follow us on Instagram, join our Patreon, do all that shit. And if you're interested in the Vanderpump reunion, that episode will be out Thursday.
Yeah, so catch us later this week. It'll be out Friday, but yes.
Oh, it'll be out Friday. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.